I guess we're just going to wing it, right? Here goes. Excellent connection.
I've resigned. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered.
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Tony Caravan. You've been subjected to a highly sophisticated form of propaganda.
It's just what you need, and not what you don't.
Yeah, freaky man, the fifth dimension. When the moon is in the seventh house. No, I don't mean that freaky. Well, that wasn't freaky. I mean, that was a good band. But I mean, the fifth dimension. I watched one of the more recent Twilight Zones, the Redux. It was like the third time. If you count the movie, it's probably like the fourth time they've done it. Anyway, it's me again. So
you're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
Let's take a look at the remaining
weekend weather.
Man, that's loud in my ears, which I think my microphone then might not be loud enough. Maybe it's not. Because I had to turn up my speakers, my loudspeakers, like much louder than normal. But anyway, let's get through this.
Weekend weather.
It's currently 68 degrees out there outside the studio. And it's looking like it's going to be a real pressure cooker today, folks. There's only a 20% chance of rain. Shows the sun peeking through the clouds, and I'm already having to clear my throat, but we'll try to walk through it. 88 degrees for the high, 70. Excuse me. Sometimes you think you could just like walk through it. This isn't going to work good as a demo tape to get me a job on, be a boss jock on one of those morning radio shows, is it now? I don't want to do that anyhow. 88 degrees for the high, 70 for the low. Tomorrow, it's all day sunny, 90 degrees and sunny. Think about that. That's a beach day. I was telling somebody the other day, when I used to go down to the beach when I was a kid, meaning like 18, when the drinking age was 18. Man, we were kids. We drank, but we were responsible. But we'd all go down to the beach, and it'd be this beach filled with 250,000 people between the ages of like 18, 19, 20, you know, that age. Beautiful tan bodies, these, you know, the shape of a woman. And they used to, everybody had their little portable radios. And inside, in between the songs, they used to have this sexy girl would come on, and she'd say, "It's time to turn over." Now, that was for your tan. And for some reason, I'm getting a delay, probably because I'm holding up the weather. Anyway, it's going to be 90 on Tuesday and 84 on Wednesday, and Thursday it looks like it gets down to 70. So let's see if that was the culprit all along, if my voice comes back into sync. I don't know why. We got an excellent connection. Well, the kilobytes per second going up are a little bit lower than normal. It's June 27th in the calendar year 2020, and yes, I am getting a slower upload speed than normal, which probably would account for that. So I don't know. We just got up to 22. This means nothing to you. But, yeah, YouTube is not receiving enough video data. I have absolutely nothing open. Mother. Now it just got into like super green. I'm up to like, it's trying to fix itself. It's like up to 4,000 kilobytes per second, 4,500 kilobytes per second, and YouTube is not receiving enough data. That's a joke. It's actually 68, 63, shot up to 68. It's like this thing is trying to compensate. 1.3% frames dropped. That's why we're getting that thing. Anyway, this should clean itself up, and it looks like it already has. We're back up into the normal range. Sorry for that bit of technical difficulties there, but there's nothing much we can do about that. It's better than trying to watch a movie and listening to this.
Good morning.
And on with the show. Tony Caravan with you, and like I was talking before, sometimes it takes a little while to get this thing figured out. I got the volume up to a nice level that I'm happy with. I had put 3 new sound effects in. You heard the first one, you heard the Twilight Zone, and the next one we'll save for next Friday, if I remember. Other than that,
Channel check. Left channel. Left channel.
YouTube is not receiving enough video. Yes, yeah. Everything's fine. Drops, 1% drop. We want to get that to 0. I'm wearing the, for those of you who are interested in my my garb, then what? Then what? That's available on Tony Caravan. Please, somebody send me one of those $500 gamer chairs. All right. I'm going to roll up my sleeves, not to show off the muscles, just because when you're muscle bound, it's too constricting, right? It's too constricting. And we'll talk about a couple of things today. We're going to stick with this black and white thing, by the way. All right, let's see. Frame drops 0.9%. We're just about. I guess their idea is that you've got to be perfect. I don't know, man. So I put a couple images up. We'll take a quick look at, see if this doesn't throw a wrench in the system. One of my all-time favorites. I think I used this once for a title card. You know. I don't know. What do you think? You know, I mean, it's almost like there's 2 ways of looking at it, you know. Wow, I just heard that car go by. That was interesting. And I saw something over on my sound effects that I was going to play, but now you went and built it up and you spoiled it. Where the heck is it? Where'd it go? What was there? I'm losing it. Oh, there it is. I mean, this is like... But it's also the kind of the equivalent of swing, right? Swing. See, I Dream of Jeannie thing when she used to do her, whatever that thing she did. Boy, did she have a body and a half. Barbara Eden. Man. She was something else. This is probably not going to go well with YouTube. This file's far too big. Yeah. I'm not going to even try to attempt to put this one up. What happened with that was a beer glass. Because I'm contemplating having a happy hour today. So instead we'll just put an alternative up. Which is also a Umongo file. See, what I have found is that these ridiculously large files, and the reason I'm going back and forth is I'm trying to scale it. And it's hard to do. My lips are still in sync. Yes. Man, this isn't gonna work. Sorry about that. This is the beginning of the show. It always goes this way.
Really funny. Really funny.
It's hilarious, man. It's freaking hilarious. It's hilarious. You know, I don't know. Let's just put this up and see what this one does. For no reason. Wi-Fi. I wonder who invented the Wi-Fi symbol, right? Yeah, do you ever think about that? Thank you very much. All right, well, that is a waste of time. I'm actually going to delete image 3. Well, I'll keep it there in case I use it for something different. I forgot to title this show, and so we're going to do that together. Today's the 27th, and we need a title. How about Hot Fun in the Summertime? Remember that song? And under the description, this way to the beach. The cult of personality is alive and well. Semicolon. So is politics as pop culture. Unfortunately, these are the things that the American dream is made of. Isn't it a pity? I'll expound. Okay. Let's get back to this. All right, I'm ready. Yeah, so, you know, I was looking through this. Happy Sunday, by the way. I don't believe today is any particular Sunday. No, it's just the 27th in the former United States. I'm drinking my last DP. I'm going to go up to the store today and buy some cigars, watching my mouth very closely. I had a fairly good night of sleep last night. You know, woke up maybe twice. which isn't uncommon for me because I go to bed at around 7:30. So I usually like wake up at 10 because who goes is probably should go to bed at 10, 9:30 or 10. And then I think I inevitably got up again maybe at 1ish. I'm not sure. Or maybe I woke up at 10 or 11 and maybe I slept from 11 till 3. And I kind of woke up, but you know how you just hang around in bed and time passes at a super fast speed. And the next thing I knew, it was 5 a.m. So I must have dozed off again. But you know what I mean? It's like when I used to have a job, or you know how to be somewhere. In the old alarm setting days, I mean, there's probably people out there that still do this thing as my voice gets lower and weirder. But you wake up, you set the alarm, people, you got these people have the dozing thing, they even built it in because they know people just don't want to get up, right? Which for me, I never really used an alarm clock that much. I mean, I had one job once when I was a salesman for a radio station when I was young. And I had this dictatorial sales manager who never liked me. And I don't know, it's a long story I'm not going to bother to get into. But anyway, hey, buddy, I ended up managing the station later on, so, So, you know how you do that, though? So you get up, it's like the alarm goes off, or you wake up and you look at the clock and you go, excuse me, I can't talk today. And you go, oh, man, I just gotta rest for 5 more minutes before I get out of bed. But then if you doze back off, it's like, wow, then you're late. Then you're running, dashing to put your, Beau Brummel suit on, right? Play that game, the rat race. I can remember when I worked in Philadelphia, I used to take a commuter train. At one point, I lived in Philadelphia 2 different times. Was it just 2 or 3? 2. Or was it 3? I was thinking about that today, too. It's a Star Trek line. I mentioned Star Trek. You know what that means. Hey, Scotty, I mentioned Star Trek again. Tony out. Or was it 3? I think it was 2. 2 main times. Spent a lot of time down the shore. It's a different story. But, the Delaware Valley, South Jersey, Philly, I lived in Ocean City. I lived in Wildwood. I lived in Cape May. Atlantic City as a kid. Philly. Well, Ventnor, which is outside Atlantic City, technically. Center City, Philly, and this, I think it was called Penn Towers. So it was like a really nice place. In those days, this is many years ago, before most of you were born. I told that story once before. I used to know some people who lived in Erie, PA, and I was in Philly, PA, and I used to visit them to go to a fraternity party on the weekend. And I used to get picked up with the shuttle in front of this Penn Towers luxury apartment building I lived in. And I lived up I had a fairly decent view of the cityscape of Philly. I wasn't on the lower end. It was a pretty tall building. Able to take leaps of tall bounds or whatever that was. Anyway, the shuttle comes, takes me to the airport. It cost $55 for the flight, and it took 55 minutes to get from Philadelphia to Erie. It literally crossed the state, right? And I'd leave after work. And I'd be at the fraternity house before, people were back from class and other people who had jobs or something before, even got off work. It was ridiculous. It was insane. And I don't know if the shuttle was free, like it was part of the building, fees, or if it was like $10 or something. Man, times have changed. People just don't know that. Like, they don't get it, right? Well, anyway, that's not really what I wanted to talk about. There were two things that happened yesterday. And this delves a little bit into the political, but it's not, it is political. I mean, but it's not, it's not political stance or an issue. It's just about pop culture, politics of pop culture and the cult of personality, like I wrote in the description. So it's not political in a sense of an opinion or me saying something that oh no, you've spoken the unspeakable. Right. Now, two things happened. One, the other day, Dave Rubin of Blaze TV and founder of Locals, right? Locals.com. In fact, you could find I have a place there, a community at TonyCaravanLive.locals.com. And you can go there and you can watch these videos are linked there, and sometimes I put up some other stuff, but you can donate to the cause at Locals. I accept Bitcoin, and you can give fractions of Bitcoin. So if you're sitting on Bitcoin, just send me a couple of 0.0108 something. It's no loss to you. The thing's either going to go up or it's going to go down, one way or the other. If it goes down, giving it to me is like nothing. If it goes up, giving it to me is like nothing. Think about the logic behind that, right? Share the wealth. Besides, it's and PayPal, I think, accepts that now or whatever. So I'll just translate it into PayPal and get myself a decent chair. Fix one of these things. Buy a shirt. Use it to buy 1,000 books and pass them out. 1,000 of my books Codex back there behind the Pabst Blue Ribbon can. You see that? You've heard it all before. Mr. Algorithm. Mr. or Ms. Algorithm or whatever it is. Now I got to try to remember what I was talking about. What was the point I was making? Boy, I hate when that happens. I get on these things. And I don't think I have any chat. No, they deprived me of chat for some reason. What was I talking about? Oh, political. Okay. Rubin, Locals, Bitcoin. Yeah. Well, Rubin interviewed the ex-prez the other day. All right. I mean, it was a typical interview. There was, it was unremarkable other than, it was kind of and it was over the phone. So it was like kind of the same old, more or less. And, that was that. And then last night, there was a rally in Ohio by the same, by the X-45th, 45. I guess that's something they call them sometimes now. By 45 had a rally in Ohio out in some place. And it was the classic thing, they had a pretty good crowd, thousands of people showed up. I mean, it wasn't like some of those ridiculous ones where 50,000 people showed up. But I mean, there were thousands of people there. There were, several bleachers filled, and behind him and in the foreground, you could see that there were several thousand people. So I don't know. There had to be at least $5,000, or more, which, is more than any politician alive in the U.S. can draw at this point in time, if you think about it, right? And this guy is like supposedly the most, whatever. But I was tired, so I watched YouTube, and there's this RSBN network that covers all these things. So I flipped it on. I forgot about it, and I was done. I finally finished the Criminal Minds 15 seasons, 15 years they ran that show. That's like a long time, 15 years. I mean, people age in 15 years, And I have to admit, A.J. Cook, the blonde, the one that I, ooh, baby. That's about kind of the way her body looked, except the hair didn't go up like that. The arms were like that towards the end, though she had a little bit of a muscle sometimes. But sometimes she would hide the muscle. I think the director told her that. Say, hey, come on, flatten that arm against your body so it just looks like it's got a little meat on it. People want a little meat on that wing. And so, my chair fell again. Up you go. Then what? "15 seasons. Some of those seasons had a lot of episodes. I think the last season only had about 10 or so. And that was just really a few years ago. So anyway, I turned that off. That was on Paramount, which I have to remember. I'm going to make a note. Because I was looking to see, well, what else can I watch on Paramount? I already watched Picard. And I'm half tempted to watch the Star Trek Discovery, but that's gotten mixed removed. So I'm going to write here, cancel Paramount. So that's what I do with these things these days, It's like you get them. I'm trying to adjust my shirt, if you don't mind. I'm half tempted to cancel Netflix. Though I think I just paid for it. Netflix has nothing on it. And it's almost laughable because they actually have, they'll bring something on, but, I don't. This is a beret, just so you know. People don't, they can't figure this thing out because of the background, see? Beret, it's a beret. It's either that or I wear the old, officer's hat. Rah, rah. Eyes Without a Face is back there. Game Over. You can almost see Maggie there if you look really, really close. And there's the old AM radio from the 40s or 50s. That's a tube radio, and those are tubes stacked on it. That Hula Girl is like for a coffee flavored cigar or something like that. It's an interesting concept. And that's that Hawaiian cigar. Yeah. They make good coffee there. Codex the book over here. Get it? The vinyl record that may or may not ever come out. And of course, some of these things that we have And I put everything out of order so I no longer can find any of my sound effects. And I've got the guitar, which maybe we'll bring up. And of course, there's an old dial phone there. Do I have the cat still here? Or did he see if he left? Yeah, he left. All right. Yeah. I guess he left, so I can move this a little bit. Let's see. Well, you can tell it's a phone, right? Old-fashioned phone. So anyway, I end this series, watching this series, I'm going to cancel the service, which means I'll probably still have it for a month because they probably already billed me. And so I flip back onto YouTube. I'm ready to go to bed, but maybe I'll just, just see what's happening, kill another 15 minutes. It was still light out when I went to sleep. And I wasn't super tired. And then I saw this RSBN, thing, and it was like a rally in Ohio. So I turned it on for a few minutes, and the timing was fairly right. So 45 comes on. And it was just more of the same. I've seen those rallies. Like I said, I used to be a Twitter guy. I gave up on all that stuff when I realized that it was useless. I don't know if the clearing of the throat, that one show where I did some blatant belching, or the occasional F-bomb, or whatever. I'm just trying to get comfortable here with that stuff. Me talking about technical difficulties, what it is. But right now I have one concurrent viewer. And that viewer is probably a Google algorithm or a Google watcher. Let's see. If you are somebody enjoying this, hit the like button so I know that you're a real person. I'm looking right now. Like it. I mean, you're watching it. Can't you like it? Are you afraid to like it? They're not liking it. Mikey likes it. Come on. You've decided to.
You're now in a different continuum than the world you're used to.
I mean, you're in the continuum. Now you're not liking it. Not liking it yet. Right.
We have discovered that the Force...
That one, I'm getting sick of that one. So what I wanted to talk about is that, it's business as usual. So, the same announcers from this channel, not this channel, but that other channel, and there's other ones. There's like a handful of these YouTube channels that follow these various rallies. And, this was a big event. They had all-day coverage, right? Wall-to-wall coverage, as they say in the media. And I'm sure it's going to be the talk of the Sunday shows, because there's going to be some sound bites in there that said, talked about the November. He talked about, the lie, And as if, the media has nothing else to talk about in this, in this crazy country that we live in right now, former United States. Ignoring 20,000 homicides a year. Ignoring the lies that we've been told by various other, bureaucrats and politicians. Ignoring the fact that, heart disease is killing 650,000 people a year. Cancer is killing 600,000 people a year. And the people that are involved in those treatments or research and all that stuff of just those two diseases, there's a whole litany of them, are billionaires and are making money on the fact that people are dying. You know, roll up the sleeves. So that's going to be that. And that's why I don't watch the news, and I don't have the news anymore to watch. But like I say, it's in your face, and this happened to be in my face. I turned it off because, watched a couple minutes of it. Same old, same old. Turned off the TV, which is YouTube, and told the old Echo box to play some, meditational type of music. That kind of thing. Go to sleep type of thing. The Tooth, right? Let's not forget about that. I've been just taking like pain pills. Remember, the tooth. The tooth. The tooth. The tooth. So it's there, but it's, I'm trying to just keep it at bay. And so, how do we go forward in this thing? I'm wondering, where people's heads are, right? Let me just check and see if that person never liked it. So it's not a person, it's an algorithm. And so it's business as usual for the people who are into the politics as pop culture. And the cult of personality is alive and well in 45. I mean, there's no cult of personality in 46, right? I mean, that's just like cognitive dissonance, that's pure outright denial. They see this thing, they see this stumbling, bumbling, whatever. And they just, well, that's why ratings are down, I guess, because people they don't want to watch it. But probably ratings shot up yesterday and today and all this week because they'll run that story, because inevitably 45 would have said something, one sentence or string of some things that they could put together that will be covered, for an entire week, and the ratings will go up, and the anger. And I was watching this other guy, this Asha, A-S-H-A Logos channel on YouTube, which I spoke highly of once. I commented to the guy, and then, like I said, I did this paying to him, and I felt like I was dissed, But I don't really care about that. It's like, I wasn't trying to gain anything. I was just trying to, say, hey, check this dude out. So yesterday, in between watching the end of that series and whatever, I saw that guy had put up a video about a week ago. And he's into saving the culture, this is this whole thing, excuse me, that people are trying to do. So you got the 45 and those 75 million people, or more, because that's how many people voted. You got to figure there's always, not everybody votes, but who still supports. So you got a third of the country at least, if not half, that still support this 45 guy, right? And are into this Save America mindset, right? Then you have these intellectuals like, and I don't know if this Asha Logos guy thinks I don't know who he is. He doesn't. And I don't know if he considers himself an intellectual per se. But he's well researched, put it that way, into the early history of civilization and previous civilizations and culture. And he does long form videos like I do. I mean, I wouldn't, he would probably think this is a joke because this would be campy, to people like that who are seriously trying to preserve civilization and culture. But, unbeknownst to a guy like him, and unbeknownst to these Save America people, it's like, I'm probably, if you guys would give me some support, I'm more likely, to be more productive in waking people up and saving the culture than you are. Because, one is lofty, the Logos, and the other is just giving people, sound bites, what they want to hear. Right? As opposed to me, that as far as just because I get into some, comedy and get a little rude, and not rude, but like a little crude and stuff sometimes like that, that's nothing. I'm just a human being. And you know what? Besides, that's part of the culture. You got to take like like I say, the human experience, the soul experience, consciousness. You got to deal with reality. We inhabit these avatars, right? These human androids. Chair fell again, man. It's annoying. So I gotta jackhammer this thing. If I had $1 million, I gotta play the lottery today when I go buy cigars. Where's my list? I've got some lists here. There's a note there. Happy birthday to Ruben. Yeah. Yesterday was Ruben's birthday too. I don't know the guy, but I'm like anybody else. You watch these people, and it's like, you kind of know them. Dashiki, speaker switch, and this guy's website. Okay, so I gotta put that there. Now this is today's deal. Today's deal is cigars, lottery, Mentos. I find these Mentos things, it's not an advertisement for it. There's something in there called xylitol that I saw some nutritionist. I'm no doctor and I'm not recommending anything to you. But there's something about that xylitol that does something to help cavities. I don't know. It's just a thing. May or may not be true. I don't know. Okay. And that's that. Organizing my notes. Cancel Paramount. And that's why I'm not respected, because I let a belch come out every now and then. I drink 3 carbonated sodas. I'm drinking Faygo right now. I have Diet Coke in there, but that stuff will take out the temporary fillings for sure. Man, that stuff, it really does take the paint off of cars, right? Now, what does a muscle look like? Right? That's what a muscle looks like. See that? What does a muscle look like? What does tan look like in grayscale? That's what tan looks like in grayscale. Yeah, like that. Hey, it's the human body we occupy. So anyway, so these people, I'm no narcissist, you know. I mean, I'm a realist. I mean, I wouldn't even do this thing. Yeah, 0 likes. So that's just the YouTube monitor. Anyway, algorithm. What's he saying? What's he saying? What's he up to? What's he trying to get to? Better be careful. Let's see if he crosses the line. Yeah, one of these days, I guess they'll just nix me for the hell of it. I got to remember to talk louder so I don't have to turn up the volume on my TV, the TV, because what happens is if my voice isn't at a certain level,
Making up the rules as we go along.
then those, then we're not, those things are either louder or lower than my voice. So I'm trying to get this equilibrium thing going. All right, so 45 is back. All right. The media is no doubt back into full coverage of this thing. All right. They're talking about 2022 as like, hey, that's the year we're going to win it back. You know. Hope. Reconnection successful. It says note that. There was like some weird thing there. Now the question is this another broadcast or is this the same broadcast? For some reason I would just had a disconnection and then it said it reconnected. So I don't know if they're messing with me because I'm covering this thing or not. If you would listen to me monitor, you would find out that I'm not promoting anything, all right, that you think about. Listen to the whole thing in its entirety. What I'm trying to say is that this is all an exercise in futility. Man, you don't know what's going on because you can't see the control panels in front of me. And I'm getting, I get all the stats and all these analytics and the stream health and, I was just disconnected. Because I'm talking to you watching this in the back. So you just watched this and there was probably a blank screen or some kind of weirdness came up. So now I'm back to walking on eggshells, wondering if they're going to do it again. Just when I finally got this thing figured out and made it really cool, right? What a laugh. I mean, the whole concept of people that are into, fear of words and triggering and all that stuff. Well, anyway, I'm going to try to finish this thought in case they cut this show off completely. It's all a waste of time. We live in the former United States. It's a corporatocracy. Okay? They're still talking the same old words like drain the swamp. There is no swamp. There is only a corporatocracy. There's a bureaucracy. Tens of thousands of people work in these various alphabet agencies. They are the people that they're so embedded in society, and they're doing things that you have no idea. Big tech, and though in tandems in some cases with those alphabet agencies, are 50 years behind or ahead technological wise than you even can conceive. I keep trying to tell you this. Oh, you know, all you fools out there who have like wasting money on a VPN to protect your anonymity, and you're worried about privacy and all this other stuff. You have no privacy. You haven't had privacy in decades. Everything you know is wrong. All right? What you don't know, you don't know. Yeah, it sounds like a broken record. I agree. I'm getting tired of saying it, you know?
Okay.
I'm tired of saying it. And like I say, though, and when you see stuff like that, which you didn't see, the wind gets knocked out of your sails. You think, okay, you got this show, you're doing it, you know, whatever. Who cares? 5 people watch it. Maybe they watch it for a few minutes. So in reality, nobody frickin' watches it. But so what? I watch it. It's out there for someone else to randomly watch it. Let me get back to this story, okay? So you had this rally by 45, which was an exercise in futility. Okay, now algorithm, do you understand that? This is the problem I have with the other thing is I got to put, and that's the end of that too. See, now I'm on a roll. Cancel Maggie. Okay? I don't like doing this, but I'm basically going to make her invisible. Okay? In other words, I'm going to abandon her. All right? I'm abandoning somebody.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Hey, it's me. How you doing, man?
I'm not doing too good at all.
After he's stalked, we must get rid of him immediately. After he's stalked, we must get rid of him immediately.
Maggie, you go too. Because you're an AI. Right? Just like these algorithms. You're primitive, computer-generated morons that can't even come close to the human brain. Oh, we beat you on Jeopardy. We beat humans on Jeopardy. We beat somebody who plays the game of Go. Fuck Go. It's fucking checkers, man. The fucking checkers. They used to call it Chinese checkers when I was a kid. All right? It's checkers. Yeah, that's what they called it. Chinese checkers when I was a kid. It's checkers. I played it. Algorithms, AI, augmented reality, virtual reality. What a joke. Primitive technologies for people who are just sitting around making 6, 7, 8 figures, having their Starbucks coffee, you know, thinking they're like picking up causes that were long gone 50 years ago, right? Thinking they're like accomplishing something. You don't get it, Mr. Ms. Algorithm, or whatever you are, or MZ, MY, whatever the fuck. You know? You're just copying shit from the past. Right? And you're getting yourself all goosebumped up like, I'm making a difference. We're going to save the world, save the planet. Fuck you. It ain't your planet. Right? This ain't your planet. All right? It's not even your fucking planet, you fuck. You dumb fuck. You don't even realize that. That's how moronic you are. I have a degree. I've got an MA. I've got a PhD. You got shit. A PhD isn't worth crap. You could get a perfect SAT score. They dumbed those scores down 30 years ago. The equivalent of a perfect SAT score is lower than somebody who got like 300-400 lower than you did back in the late 80s. You morons. Or certainly the 70s, you get 500 less. These people think they're actually intelligent. They think these algorithms, they think this GPT-3 AI is actually smart. It's not. It's dumb. That's what you used to call machines. It's like dumb, Yeah. They're dumb. And that was a technical word they used to talk about it, Yeah. You don't see machines doing that. Yeah, today's one of those rant days, right? Yeah, it's a rant day. Some people looking at me going, I don't know about him. Maybe he's not. I thought he was a decent guy and stuff, but now after that Hulk thing and some of this stuff, it's kind of, I'm starting to wonder about him.
Your papers, please.
That's the society we live in. Your papers, please. What a joke. A bunch of mama boys, soy boys, pink-haired freaking idiots who think they know something. They don't know anything. They have no real life, real world experience. All they got is a paycheck from some Silicon Valley company or donations from some people who feel guilt for something that happened 160 years ago or something. when they didn't even have a relative in the country, My relatives didn't come to the U.S. until after the Civil War, 1880s or something like that. I forget my grandfather. I don't know. The vast majority of people don't know. There were only like 30,000 to 40,000 people in the United States during the Civil War era. All right? Basically 10%, of what the population is now. That's who was here. And you know who was here? The people who are the power brokers, right? Do you know who the plantation owners were? They're the same people who are in power now, all right? Who you are thinking, these people who are into the social justice stuff, who are involved in those things, are the very people who were the ones that were the power brokers back then, right? Nobody talks about what they did to, people are all on this thing about immigrants, right? People around. They have no idea. What about the Italians, the Irish, the Polish, right? All the European, Western European, Eastern European immigrants that came in here that were treated like shit, right? Like I said, I grew up in an area where we had the Molly Maguires. People worked in the mines when they were 14 years old, and they worked there for 16 hours a day. Half the people died of black lung. You had things called the company store. They literally owned you. You were a slave. People talk about these are white people. All right? Our ancestors were enslaved around the turn of the century, late 1800s into the early 1900s, was the real slavery of more people. In fact, there were more white people who were slaves around the turn of the previous century, from 1800s to the 1900s. All right? There were more white slaves than black slaves. People don't even know about that. It's like forgotten history. Well, I grew up there, all right? I'm old enough to know. I heard the stories firsthand from the old guys, the ones that didn't die of black lung from working in the mines. They were slaves. They built this country. It's like the railroads. People think it's a big funny, guys like Mel Brooks made it a big joke showing Chinese, little bit of Chinese people building the railroads and then a lot of black people building the railroads. It was a Chinese slave labor built the railroads. That was after the Civil War. Right? So the Chinese were enslaved. Then they put the Japanese in internment camps. They were Americans. They weren't even Japanese. They were Americans of Japanese descent. They put them in internment camps. Concentration camps is another word for an internment camp. And we did that during World War II. These young people. You fucking idiots, man. You're a fucking idiot. And you sit there high on your high horse. Look at, we got this, we got that. Look at, everybody's gonna be, fuck you. You dumb fucks. You don't even know history. Don't even know history. Right? You don't know what you're fucking talking about. That's the problem. You're like cherry picking a little bit of like one little piece of history, and you're making it out to be something. It's out of control. It's completely unrealistic. We must end all white people. Yeah, except for one problem. They're 2/3 of the population of this country. Right? It's their fucking country, man. All right? All right? You don't have 13% of the population, saying, oh, especially when half or more than 2/3 of half of that 13% don't approve of this crap. People are so out of control. They just don't know anything. They just watch TV, and TV just wants to sell you a car or a drug or a bright and shiny object. That's all they're trying to do. They're belching in your face. I don't know. I get set off. I get set off because I know that they fuck with me. That's the thing. It's crazy. So anyway, so this guy 45 is out there pretending like it's like last year. And then there's all these people here looking, oh, well, great. We're going to save America. And then there's all these other people that are saying, we got to get rid of this guy. We got to prosecute. We have to do this. We got to do this. And then what's the other thing? And that other guy, McAfee or whatever his name is, he got Epstein, right? You know, nobody gives a shit like that. You know, that's why I say it's a former United States. People are being disappeared. They're being suicided. Right? What kind of country is that? And you know, I'm sorry for you soldiers and cops who are currently like, you know, think you're doing the right thing. I mean, yeah, if you save some girl, you know, from some crime, you know, you get some serial killer, you know, hats off to you, whatever. But you know, you're working on the wrong side. You're working on the wrong side. Everybody ought to just walk off the job. You know. Hey, but my family, I gotta live this life, you know. Just go on Zillow or one of those places and buy a house. You could sell your current house if you're a homeowner, and you can retire tomorrow. Well, after closing. Because you could buy a house here for 15 or 20 grand and live a good life. I'd love to see, you know, a couple hundred people move into this area, this neighborhood. Man, I'm growing gardens. I got a grill. You know, come on in. I'll have weekend, you know, barbecues for y'all. There's no excuse to be involved in the corporatocracy or this organized crime league, you know, syndicate that's running this planet right now. You know, there isn't. And so my thing to somebody like Asha Logos or the 45 and the Save America crew is that you're wasting your time. You're wasting your effort. What you really need to do is just get out of it. Okay? Get out of it. You know, detach yourself, decouple yourself from the corporatocracy, right? From the news. You gotta turn off the fucking news, man. All of it. You gotta get off of Twitter and Facebook. But my family album, I want to see my little granddaughter's picture. I want to see her birthday because I can't get to it. Fuck that. Have somebody send you a snapshot. Or move back in the house. Tell your fucking kids to like let you come and live in their house the way they used to. Or get you a house, you know, next door. Instead of warehousing you into a frickin' care facility. Right? Yeah, fuck that. I just see pictures of my grandkids and my kids and my family. I keep in touch with my high school friends. Fuck that. Are you going to see your high school friends again? I have a question for people on Facebook. All right? I get requests from people. I post a link to these videos. There's one or two people that I like, you know, I'll occasionally, the day I'm posting the video link, if I see something, I'll like something, you know, from some girl I used to, you know, maybe like when I was in high school or something like that, who I haven't seen in fucking 40 years or something. I'm never going to see again. So what's the use, right? Who knows? about anything, you know. So it's like, what the fuck? And then people that you casually knew want to be your friend on Facebook. It's like, why? What's the fucking... It's a game. All you're doing is giving Zuckerberg and these corporate autocracy fucks money. I know. I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
Good morning.
Good fucking morning to you.
Really funny. Really funny.
Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Yeah, you're funny.
Solid gold.
This is solid gold, man. This show is solid gold. I haven't had one of these in a while, man. It's called a rant, you know. It's called a fucking rant. I'm gonna try drinking this afternoon again. I've been drinking almost every other. I never drink 2 days in a row, just to let my body somewhat recover. Though the last time I drank, it wasn't the greatest time. I've got to get... The Echo Dot is great, okay, as far as its vast amount of, you know, knowledge. Yeah, I mean, not knowledge, but archival or resources of music. You know, I don't know, collections, access to, you know, all this music. But the curation of it, or the way, again, this algorithmic AI bullshit is just not good. You know, there's no human behind it, so it can't pick, it doesn't know. See, only humans know. That's the thing. Fuck Chinese checkers. Okay? All right? Google. Fuck Chinese checkers. Our computer, hey, we beat Go. Ray Kurzweil's working for us. Fuck Ray Kurzweil. He's a fucking psychopath trying to bring his father back from the dead. The guy's a fucking nutbag. He's a fucking nutbag. Elon Musk wants to go to fucking Mars. And he's putting fucking goddamn satellites up and more fucking space junk up in space. That's just fucking toasting us, turning this fucking Earth, and not only is it space junk and the Earth looks like a dump from space, but he's trying to microwave the rest of the fucking country, the world. We need more bandwidth in rural areas. We got bandwidth. Fuck you. There's more bandwidth than we fucking need. Bandwidth. Look, you know, I could go all over the place with this shit. In 2029 or 2040 or 2046, there's two possibilities that the world as we know it will be pretty much wiped out. Okay? There's two things going on, all right, that nobody's talking about. And if you want to, and you don't know about those things, watch some of my older videos or watch some other people's videos. And then this isn't some conspiracy theory fucking nonsense. This is matter of factual bullshit, all right? You know, based on fucking facts. You know, archaeology, physics, solar dynamics, you know, astrophysics, cycles, history, repetitive cycles, reality. And then, you know, at any given time, we could have another one of these Carrington events. It's just going to take out the whole fucking grid. What are you going to fucking do? Right? When your refrigerator doesn't work anymore. And people, when I was a kid, some people used to call these crank callers. Your refrigerator isn't working or something. Yeah, what are you going to do when your refrigerator isn't working and you can't get any food? What are you going to do? Right? You're going to come to, you know, I got all the food in the world, right?
Good morning, Vietnam.
They come after my garden. Get some! Get some! Get some! Get some!
Good morning, Vietnam.
Get some. I got all the food in the world, and I know how to grow it, and I know how to cook. And I'm not even a prepper. I'm just a fucking simple fucking dude who just used my brain and bought a cheap house and retired. What are you going to do when your refrigerator goes out, when you lose the internet and you can't go on, you can't text anybody? Ever. For the rest of your life. Maybe this beret scares people away, see? This goes down. This goes down. This goes up. Hoorah. It's hard to do this because, see, the camera is not a mirror. Get some. People don't know anything about anything, man. So yeah, I'm living in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's where I'm at. And I advise you to do the same. And I say ignore all that crap. 45, 46, okay? Build back better and save America, right? The Great Reset, New World Order, or New World Economic Forum, whatever the fuck it is. These fucking ancient guys, these Rockefeller. Hey, Rockefeller. Hey, fella. Hey, feller. Hey, feller, you look like you're like 100 years old. What are you doing? Taking that 18-year-old blood. What do they call that stuff? Adrenochrome. Killing people for it. And you, that prince, you know, a queen and all that stuff, you're giving it to that royalty people. Yeah, that's why you're all living a life. Drinking the blood or getting injections and transfusions from killing people. Spirit cookers. Fucking psychos. And everybody's in the cult of personality. They're going to save us. What the fuck are they going to save us? And like I said, they can't even see it anymore. Fuck it. What next? Next what? Then what? Whatever the fuck it is. All I can tell you is everything you know is wrong, man. Everything you know is fucking wrong. You maniacs. No wonder nobody watches your show. You're a fucking psycho. Well, believe whatever you want to do. This is
Jukebox Gold.
Yeah.
Jukebox Gold.
I don't know.
Grab another flashback from yesteryear.
Yeah. It's a flashback from yesteryear. Live in the past, man. You can do whatever you want to. Live your life the way you want to live your life, you know? If you want to be a muscle man, be a muscle man. All I know is it's just all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. I was gonna put the strap around me, but I didn't. Boy, this thing got out of tune quick. Wait a second. Doesn't even sound like it's in tune, but it is. You're all fucking maniacs. You're just fucking maniacs. Believing in lies and stupid media fucks. Those media fucks and social media fucks. They're fucking liars. Let's try that again. They're just fucking liars. The media fucks. They're all fucking liars. The media fucks. When I say media fucks, I mean social media fucks. When I say media fucks, I mean TV media fucks too. When I say media fucks, I mean Twitter, Facebook, and Google playing Chinese checkers. Oh, yeah. Media fucks. They lie for a living, these people, man. The media fucks. They lie for a living. The media fucks. Lying for a living. I mean, am. How about something like, The media fucks. They're brainwashing you fools. Don't you understand? Everything you know is wrong. Everything you know is wrong. And you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. Everybody. One more time. The media is selling used cars. The media is lying to you. The media's taking advantage of you, and you don't see it. You don't see it. You just don't see it. I think I did a good job fixing this guitar. I mean, it was just laying around for 20 years. Filing down that bridge really helped. The song we were working on yesterday. Except I didn't use the words like media fucks. I didn't use the F word. Actually, it says no data. Oh, now it says excellent collection. They try to cut me off. They don't like what I'm doing. People don't do live. This is the coolest morning show in the world. And it is a worldwide broadcast. It's a little too fast. It needs to be slowed down. Media fucks. Destroyed this country. The media destroyed this country. Media destroyed this world. I know you could probably hardly hear any of this stuff. I don't know. It's a nice chord. It's like a Allman Brothers chord in memory of Elizabeth Reed, I think it was. Seventh chords. The media fox. They destroyed the world. Damn, fuck it. I wonder how many times I said F. This. Pabst. Now that's a little bit different than the other one I used to play. This one.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. Schaefer pleasure doesn't fade even when your thirst is done. From
most rewarding
flavor in this man's world for people who are having fun. Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Everybody, come on in. Everybody, grab a beer.
Yes, Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Schaefer, the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Let's get this show on the road.
Hey, that was fun, man.
Did you accidentally inject yourself with some kind of psychotropic agent?
No, I did not. No, I did not. But that was fun. I did not. It's 7:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. What am I going to do? Because I don't want to drink for 5 hours. I usually don't drink before noon, so 4.5 hours. Depends on where you look at the fingers. Whether or not they... See, everything gets stretched and distorted on this camera, right? So if the finger's here, it's a mile long, right? The finger. All right, take it back. It's not, well, yeah, take it back. It's kind of that way too. But like somehow there's this, like the level where my face is, you see how everything becomes short, stretched, and fattened out. It's weird. I think that's why most people who do these broadcasts, they're not set up either this close or they have some kind of backlighting or something on to like compensate for that weird distortion. Do I care? Yeah, I guess a part of me does care. Right? Part of me. Part of me doesn't care. You know.
This calls for some big scratching.
So.
You got a rattlesnake inside your house. You got a rattlesnake inside your house. Oh, yeah.
There's just one in here? Yeah, I hope.
I hope. I hope, man. Jeez, I think about that. No likes. This stream has been messed with, but this set is ever growing and turning into a really cool thing. And my muscles are getting bigger and bigger as I work out. I use a mower, a push mower, not electric, not gas, a push mower. It's got that thing that just turns. You push it by hand. There's no power whatsoever. Just brute force. It's a workout. Because you get your arms in there pushing it, right? Of course, you're moving around. Your leg muscles are pushing. It's a good workout. And then I just soak up the sun. You should see my yard, man. It's out of fucking control. It's fucking out of control. It's like crazy. You know, there's this thing on this that like, it's called video capture device. And I don't know if it would allow me to use my phone as an alternative video capture device. You know, that which would be interesting, but I don't see how it would. I think it would have to be physically connected because there's no like Bluetooth thing or anything weird like that. So that's a pipe dream. I don't know.
Why are you telling us this?
Because it's the show of shows, you know? What can I say? I mean, I don't know.
You're listening to Tony Caravan Live.
That was only a 2-second thing. Did you know that? The times of things are pretty funny. A lot, you know, when you're in radio, you know time. You know, when you're alone, I manage a station, or if you're alone at a radio station, I've already been alone at a radio station even when I was younger. And you know the time it takes, like if you got to take a bathroom break. So you know exactly how long you're conscious. And they've got clocks. In the old days, they had the analog clocks with the, second hand. But you can tell, and you just get used. You become conscious of time, or at least the chronograph, man's recording of time. You know, this show definitely
making up the rules as we go along.
I mean, we've gone so many places in today's show. It's insanity. But I say it was going to be like 90 frickin' degrees today, which means when the temperature outside, which will totally freak out my thing, it's already like 70 degrees outside. 70 to fucking degrees. I gotta walk up the store. You get some cigars before the sun comes out. Oh, the sun's already out. The sun's already fucking out. Anyway, the takeaway from today's show is that, you can do whatever you really want to, and I'm just a madman out here who's making some comments on things, who's living in the past, doing a show in black and white. See, there's no color here. We have no color here. There's no color here. I don't give a shit about that stuff. The light's coming in enough that you can see the acoustic background. I'm going to move more of that acoustic background over to this side here to fill that void. And I think I might get rid of the Mulder poster since you can't see the UFO above it. So I just might move acoustic foam over there because I have extra that's not really serving any purpose. Anyway, I'm glad you could come along with me today, and I hope you did understand the takeaway of this show. Is that just live your life, do whatever the hell you want to, and don't fall for this. It's the same old again. They started up. They're starting to play their game again. And you just need to get away from it and get out of it. Do what I did. Just live your own life. Just live your own life. You don't need them. And if you're in a situation where you say, well, I can't do that, I'm dependent upon this, then get out of it. No excuses. I'm sorry, but my kids are in a good school system. Your kids are in a school system that's indoctrinating and turning them into psychopaths, little psychopaths. There's much better school systems in these areas like this, where the taxes are, my mortgage, taxes, and insurance, right, which includes the school taxes, all right, are less than $200 a month. Think about that. You could literally sell your fucking house right now, move to this place. All right, this areas like this, all right, and you could just quit your job because that's how much money you'd have left over from your frickin' house that you probably paid $1 million for, or whatever, and your 401ks and cash all that shit, and you could just live free for the rest of your fucking life. Or whatever you do, they got all that stuff around here. You could get a job. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done with this show. I'm not angry. I'm happy. I want you to be happy. I can't see any other way of getting out of this show other than just to put the ending up. And when I see that ending appear over there, then I will just say stop streaming. And we'll see what happens. Thanks for watching. Buy my shit. TonyCaravanLive.com. Donate. Figure out a way. Go to TonyCaravanLive.locals.com and figure a way to donate there. All right? Can you do that? Try it.